say something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T Will on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T Will, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart, with a soul so free. My ATL sports show, it's the place to be.
Atlanta Falcon fans, ATL Falcon fans, for my ATL One Falcon fans, one time for the fan Falcon fans, and Atlanta Bird Gang Falcon fans. Boy, do we have a treat for you tonight. It's your host T Will, and we are joined tonight. My special guest is Tidy from Atlanta Bird Gang. I am humbled. I am appreciative, and we are glad to have you, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the For My ATL Sports One channel, man. How you doing tonight, brother?
T Will, first and foremost, man, let me thank you very much for having me here, man. I
Yes,
definitely
sir.
do appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I'm doing absolutely fabulous. A nice Friday evening, some good weather, man. So, life is good, as they say.
Life is good. Life is good indeed. So, hey, man, Tidy, I've been wanting to do a show with you for a while, man. You are definitely deep in the game. One of the elders, as I would say. And when I say elder, I mean elder in the gang. I mean it in the game. I mean it respectfully. As far as you've been doing this for a while, and you've built yourself up. And I watch the way you move. You move with respect. And I like the way you go about your business, man. So thank you for joining me. I am
Okay.
humbled. I am appreciative. And as you are new to my show, I got a couple questions I want to ask you because I've been wanting to ask you. So if you don't mind, real quick, rapid fire. And here we go. When did you first become a Falcons fan?
If I had to pinpoint a year, I would probably say around 1982, 83.
Okay. Okay. And what was that moment like for you? What was the game? Is there any particular moment that sticks out for you?
I won't say a particular moment per se, going back to
Uh-huh.
when I originally started being a fan. I would probably say just Gerald Riggs really sticks out to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the reason I say that because I became a Falcons fan because my dad was Falcons fan. He used to sit there and watch the games
Yep.
Sunday, cussing at the TV like I
Yep.
found myself doing now in 2026.
Yep.
And I just remember he used to always talk about Gerald Riggs, man, Gerald Riggs, Gerald Riggs, Gerald Riggs. So that name kind of became embedded in me, like
Yep.
there's nostalgia of me first becoming a Falcons fan.
Yep. Yep. I mean, hey, I can dig it, man. I've been a fan since '77, so you're not too far behind me. I think my first Falcons team was Steve Bartkowski, Wallace Francis, Alfred Jenkins. They're a little bit before your time, but hey, man, been a Falcons fan long time. Let me ask you this: what is your favorite moment as a Falcons fan, and what is your most heartbreak or the first heartbreaking moment? I probably know what the most heartbreaking moment is, but what's the first heartbreaking moment for you?
The first heartbreaking moment as a Falcons fan, surprisingly, is not us losing the '98 Super Bowl because
Yeah.
I felt like we was the Cinderella team. And I hate to admit, but I didn't think we really had a realistic chance. But I would have loved it if we did. My first heartbreak moment was probably Michael Vick going to prison.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that one hurt. That,
yeah,
that
that
was,
hurt.
and that was a surprise. Sheesh, that was a tough year, man. That was a tough
Yeah.
year. I think for me, so one of my favorite moments, one of my first favorite moments was Falcons are playing the Rams. I think they're down 6-3. And it's like 15 seconds left in the game or whatever. And I'm praying to God. I gotta be 12 years old, right? And I'm like, God, every year I pray to you, we never win. And I'm just tired. We don't win. And you don't love us. And I'm sitting there just because my mom was a preacher. Okay, just to give you a little context. Steve Bartkowski or whoever I think it was Steve Bartkowski, whoever the Falcons quarterback is, drops back, lets loose a bomb, like 70 yards, Hail Mary, caught it in the end zone, touchdown. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I got scared because I'm like, okay, God, I went, okay, all right, I hear you. But it was like, wow, man. So that was like my first favorite moment. And then my first heartbreak moment had to be 1980 against those Cowboys and that damn Drew Pearson. And we're up 17 points at halftime. And they broke my heart. They broke my heart. I cried real tears. I was 10 years old, man. I cried.
Yeah.
That I don't like Drew Pearson to this day for that. He's never done anything to me, but I don't like him. But hey, man, all good.
And
What?
I'm sorry to before you go to your next question. I miss answering some of your questions. What's the other questions you asked in that?
So what was your first favorite moment as a Falcon fan?
First favorite moment. It would be going to the Super Bowl in '98.
Yeah.
That was a real special time. You know, that's when the Dirty Birds, you know, that era really was birthed, and you know, we was doing the Dirty Bird, you know, and you know, Dan Reed, rest in peace. Just that entire era.
Yeah.
You know, it was real special to me. So that was probably my first like real special moment that I really felt the team had like achieved greatness, just making it there, because early in the 90s, you know, you had the Braves doing their worst to first thing. And I remember being in 7th grade and we making tomahawks for the Braves. So then to see the Falcons kind of, you know, finish out that decade on the brink of a Super Bowl, that was a very, very special moment to me. Although the game didn't go how we hoped,
the way we wanted
it was great. Yeah.
That was a magical season, man. I remember V103. I think it was Frank Ski, Griffey 2K, and I forget who the other one was, but every week Griffey 2K would be like, we're 5-2. And then the next week, we're 6-2, we're 7-2, we're 8, and it became a thing. And I don't know if you remember that, but every week he would add on to it, and it would be like, we're 9-2, we're 10-2, we're 11-2. And it became a whole thing. And I think the Falcons ended up being 14-2 that year.
Yes, they did.
And because Minnesota was 15-1.
Correct.
Yeah. And I remember going into that game, I was thinking we don't have a chance. And I'm talking about going into Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, for those of you who are not around, it was Randy Moss rookie year, and Randy Moss was mossing everybody. He was running roughshod over the league, man. That dude was unstoppable. And we're going up to Minnesota with that loud, whatever that horn is or whatever. You know what I mean? And it just got on my nerves that entire game. But I was truly intimidated, man. And let me tell you something. Who was it their kicker that missed the field goal?
That was it Gary Anderson?
I think it was. Yeah. I think it was Gary Anderson. When he missed that field goal, I'm like, we got a chance.
Yep.
We got a chance. And we go down there, and I think it was Chandler hit Jamal for the touchdown to tie it, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think he did. So. I think he hit him for the touchdown to tie it. And it's OT, and we go down, and we kick that field goal, and Tidy, I lost my ever-loving mind. I scared my wife so bad. I went soccer style. So you know how the soccer guys rip their shirts off? I ran outside in front of all the neighbors. We're going to the effing Super Bowl. I ripped my shirt off. And my wife is like, if you don't get oh my gosh, she was mad. She was mad at me, but everybody's outside. And I'm sure it was that way all over Georgia. I'm sure everybody was like, oh my God, we're going to the Super Bowl. That was a magical moment. I remember the whole 2-week thing and everybody talking about it and the interviews. and all of that. And then to get there to that game, man, and lose like that, I was like, wow. But I don't regret the experience. I'm glad they went. That was truly a magical moment, man. That was definitely one of my favorite moments. That was awesome. So yeah, man. So definitely. Well, we got to get into it, Tidy. So the whole reason or the concept for this show, you and I were on it was Uncle Steve's show this past Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all talking about Raheem and what happened and how we're shocked and oh my God. And of course, Uncle Steve was like, T. Will was the only person who got emotional when Raheem got fired. Anyway,
That's what I
whatever.
like, Steve.
I know. Whatever, Uncle Steve, if you're out there, whatever, buddy. But so you and I got on this conversation and you asked a question and you said, well, what are the Falcons QBs ranked? And I think your point is that sometimes as Atlanta fans, we may think more of of the talent of our team than who we really are.
Yes.
I think that was the crux of what you're saying.
Precisely.
And of course, I responded, man, please, the offensive coordinator and blah 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 blah. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, what the hell is Tidy talking about? And then I was thinking about, I was like, that'd be a great show. So I reached out to you, and again, thank you for joining me.
No problem.
But Tidy, I got to be honest, I did the research today, and so for those of you who don't podcast, we gotta. We can't just go online, right? We got to do research. We got to consult this and consult that source. And so, Tidy, I'm gonna be honest with you. I consulted about 4 different AI.
Mm-hmm.
I did about 6 different Google searches. I went to a couple sites. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I was shocked. I was truly shocked. But the AI said that in the case of the Falcons, in the case of our beloved Atlanta Falcons, it is the QBs that need to be better or go. Now, I'm shocked at this. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, Tidy. I personally think Tidy's a hacker, and he went into my computer and did some stuff. I don't know what he did, but I'm looking at it like so. It's funny. I'm looking at the first one like, no way, this is BS. And then I went to the second one, and I'm like, so by the time I get to the third one, I'm angry. I'm like, I got to do a show tonight. Can I at least get 2 for and 2 against? No, all 4 of them were like, it's the QB. So tonight, now again, Tidy, I don't agree with it.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
But I have to be fair and impartial, and that's what this is. So we're going to talk about it tonight. And so tonight, the subject is scheme or signal caller. What really held back the Falcons in 2025? And without any further ado, let's get to it, brother. So here's the thing. 2025 Falcons offense finished 14th overall. The definition of NFL purgatory. Not bad enough to blow it up, not good enough to contend. Fans are asking the wrong question. Is Zach Robinson the problem, or are the quarterbacks? Because when you peel back the numbers, the answer gets uncomfortable. So first thing I want to ask you is, that's a very interesting take, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're the first one that I've heard to say that. What led you to this? Like, what did you see that make you say, our quarterbacks are kind of, what's the word the young folks say, mid?
Mid. Yes. Mid.
Yeah.
Mid.
Yeah.
Mid.
What made you say that? How did you get to this impression?
I got to that impression, obviously by watching the games, watching the quarterback play, going back and doing like what a lot of us do now, watching the all 22, watching the film. And what my eyes were telling me is like, look, your quarterback play needs to vastly improve if this team is going to be somewhat of a competitor. If you guys are going to finally get into the playoffs, the quarterback play simply has to improve. And also to kind of add on to that point, if you go back last year, going back in the past a little bit last year, and you look at, Kirk Cousins, when he was playing well before he got hurt, Keyword playing well. I mean, you still have the same offensive coordinator there. At that point, people probably still had some gripes about Zach Robinson, but they were not loud because Kirk was simply playing really good football. And one thing that I firmly believe, like if your quarterback is playing really good football, if you got a talented quarterback who's playing really, really good football, he's going to make the offensive coordinator look a whole lot better. So once Kirk got hurt, then you bring in Michael Penix. I knew Penix would kind of be like a flash in the pan, young Ricky. He ain't got a lot of, pressure on him. Hey, kid, just go in there and have fun. And then you get Penix as a starter the following season. And I knew I didn't really verbalize it, online or anything, but I did verbalize it online. I lied. I told people on the channel one time, I said, listen, y'all, like, we got to expect Michael Penix to struggle. He's going to have some peaks and he's going to have some valleys. This is his first year as a starter. These defensive coordinators, they're going to blitz him crazy. They're going to do everything they can to confuse him. There are going to be times where he looks like a rookie. He looks like a backup. There are going to be times where he streaks. And, hey, man, it looks like, hey, man, this guy may be a future all-pro. But that really what it was, T. Will. I mean, just watching quarterback play, and then I'm watching other NFL games, and I'm looking at, okay, this is good quarterback play. And I mean, and don't get me wrong, because I know when I say that to some people, they assume that I'm saying coaching doesn't matter. And that's never really my point. My ultimate point is, like, you gotta have very good quarterback play in this league to really succeed, because the quarterback is so important. The rules are in a style of player now predicated for the quarterbacks and the wide receivers to succeed. And that's by no.
It's like a race truck. Not to cut you off, but it's like a Formula One race car driver. You can have the best car in the world, but if you don't have a guy that can corner, if you don't have a guy that understands, hey, my tires are getting hot, if you don't have a guy to understand this is my last engine, I got to make it work. Maybe I got a downshift. And then some guys can make cars do weird things. So if you don't have the driver,
right,
it's not going to work. Is that pretty much what you? That's okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you good. And that's pretty much my point. Like when I would watch other quarterback play, and I'm like, okay, this is really, really good quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
Even going back to like a second year player like Drake May, when we played them, although he did have some turnovers, but over and beyond, you saw like, oh, that's a good quarterback. He's really, really throwing that football. That's a really good quarterback. So, and this might be a bad example to use. And it
do
probably
it. Do it. I love bad examples. Do it.
Okay, so here's my bad example to use. You look at the great future first ballot Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
This was statistically, and I'm sure many people would say the eye test as well, his worst season as a quarterback, including his first year as a starter. And I don't think it's by coincidence that they missed the playoffs. And you still have the same coach in play. Now, I'm not saying that he played bad. I'm not saying that he was mid, but I'm saying that wasn't the same Patrick Mahomes that we're accustomed to seeing. And they could not get in the playoffs in a very tough and competitive AFC. Now, in the NFC, especially in our division, they probably would have won the still 11 or 12 games. But you playing in that AFC where all them big dog quarterbacks said, like, hey, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough, man. So that's really where it came from, T. Will.
So let me ask you this, and let's look at this, right? So I combine the stats of Penix and Kirk. And guys, before I say this, I really need you to hear me. I'm not trying to condescend, but it might throw you. So that's why I'm like, just hear me. If this were one quarterback, right? If you take the stats of Penix, you take the stats of Kirk, they would be 10th in the NFL as far as passing yards for one quarterback. However, the team total of 3,703 passing yards is 20th in the NFL. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So TDs, we're 19th. We're tied with 19 TDs, tied for 17th. 8 interceptions, which is 14th fewest. 86.5 passer rating, which is 15th, right? So if this were one person, you could compare them to Baker Mayfield or Justin Herbert, which is Herbert, sorry, Herbert. Anyway, which is kind of confusing because they're playing well. But as a team, as far as passing yards, we're 20th. The 49ers are first, I believe, with like 4,700. Okay. And stay with me because I'm going somewhere because this is kind of where it's going to get a little funky. But this is not bad quarterbacking. It's just not difference making quarterback either. And I can agree with that. Okay. Now, total offense, 14th. Passing yards, 20th. Remember, I said 10th for quarterback, 20th in total passing, right?
Mhm.
8th in rushing yards, 22nd in touchdowns. EPA is 24th. Again, EPA 24th. Need y'all to get this, chat, because I'm going to get into EPA. First downs, 18th. So pretty much average, right?
Yep.
We look at these numbers, we don't see one in the top 10. Pretty much average. Okay. Now let's keep it going. Interpretation. The Falcons move the ball, they just don't finish drives.
Right.
They lose value snap to snap. You don't accidentally rank 24th in EPA. That's execution. Tidy. And I didn't know what this is. So if you don't know, it's okay. Do you know what EPA is?
I don't. I have an idea, but it's not good enough for me to say, yeah, I truly know what
I
it
got
means.
you.
Definition.
got
Thank you.
Well, I had no idea what EPA. I had no idea what EPA was. Okay,
Yeah.
so in football analytics, offensive EPA stands for extended points added, an advanced metric showing how much a play improves or hurts a team's scoring chances, going beyond simple yards by considering context like down, distance, field position, with positive EPA meaning better scoring outlook and negative EPA meaning worse outlook. It's a key way to evaluate a player, a team efficiency. A 5 yard gain on 3rd and 4 is more valuable than a 5 yard gain on 1st and 10. And it's the basis for stats like ESPN's total QBR. I'm going somewhere, so just stay with me. I know I'm long winded. Just give me a sec. So, how it works. Expected points, a baseline value assigned to every down, distance, field position situation, representing the average points a team scores from that point. EPA calculation, subtract the EP before a play from the EP after a play. A play makes scoring likely a first down conversion. Okay, that's positive EPA. Negative EPA, a play that reduces scoring chances. Why it's important. Context is key. Unlike just counting yards, EPA understands that not all yards are equal. A 5 yard gain on 3rd and 2 is huge, but on 1st and 10 is less so. Less so. Make sense?
Yeah. Make perfect sense.
Measures true efficiency. It's considered a more accurate measure of a player or team's contribution to scoring than traditional stats like yards per attempt. Aggregated for players and teams, EPA can be summed for individual players like QBs or entire teams to rank performance, often measured as EPA play to normalize game pace. And again, thank y'all for your patience. I'm going somewhere. So with that being said, let's look at this. Zach Robinson as an offensive coordinator, perceived weaknesses, okay? And this is where those of us who say, you got to be kidding me, this is where we're coming from, right? So when I got to this, I was like, Tidy, I got you, right? But hang on, because it's going to come with a twist. Perceived weakness, 3rd down conversion. We are 30th in the league, Tidy, 33.8%. 49ers are number 1 at 49, basically 50%, right? Completion percentage, we are 28th at 60.9%. Touchdowns, 22nd. EPA is negative 26, 24th, right? So you look at that. Most folk look at that, like me, who I don't coach, I don't play. I just watch the game with my beer in half, beer in hand on the couch. I think, oh, Zach Robinson's the problem. I was right. I can't wait to get Tidy on my show and show him this. I was right. But there's a twist. This is what threw me. Coordinator strengths, rushing attack top 10. Fewest sacks allowed. We are fourth. Ball security, top 10. Red zone, when we get there, trips are converted when we get there. In other words, if we get into the red zone, we're pretty good at converting that into touchdowns. So here's the key question, and this is for the chat. This is for you and me. If the scheme is broken, I'm saying it again, church. If the scheme is broken, why does everything except QB execution work? Go ahead and speak, Tidy. Go ahead.
It's difficult for me to even come behind that because it was broken down so precisely. And I think what it's telling us is like, yeah, I mean, Zach Robinson isn't a Kyle Shanahan or anything like that. But at the same time, the scheme, the offensive coordinator is good enough to win more games than the Falcons have won the last 2 years, which is 16 games combined, 8 and 9 both seasons. And I think it's saying if you had actual better quarterback play, those 8 wins per seasons would probably translate to closer around 10, 11 wins per season if you had better quarterback play. And then, your stats were telltale also. I think Penix, his completion percentage was right at about 60 point something. I think Kirk's was like 61.7. And Kirk Cousins, and this is 2025, by the way, Kirk Cousins normally completion percentage is normally around 65, 66%. Now, 5 or 6 percentage points may not seem like a lot, but if you're talking about a quarterback, that's a very big deal. Also, Kirk Cousins this year, his yards per attempt was only 6.4 per attempt, which is essentially a season low. That's the second lowest in his career. Penix was a whole lot better. I think he was at about 7.2. But over and beyond, neither quarterback had a quarterback rating past 90. I think they both was around 86 as far as the quarterback rating goes. And you really, in this league, in this modern day NFL, you need that quarterback rating to be around about 93. You like it to be upwards toward the 100 if all possible, but you really need it to be around about 93 in order for you to have a difference maker at quarterback. And please, people that's watching this, don't let me misconstrue my point. I'm not saying that Zach Robinson was a good offensive coordinator.
Right.
I'm not saying that he was a great offensive coordinator, but what I am saying, the quarterback play itself was simply not good enough. We had a young quarterback in Penix who a lot of times, I got to be honest, he looked confused. He looked, apprehensive to run. Sometimes his confidence was shot. And I'm gonna bring up a situation that I was perplexed when I saw it. And that was when Michael Penix started crying at that press conference, T. Will. I never said this on YouTube, but I said to myself, we screwed. We are screwed.
I didn't see him cry. I didn't see that.
You didn't see that?
I did not see that. I did
really?
Not. I didn't. I missed it. I guess I missed it, but I didn't see it. I promise you I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like boo-hooing, but he was wiping tears from his face and his voice was cracking. And I
did not see it.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to try to find it and text it to you. But when I saw that, I said, we're screwed. I'm serious, T. Will. I said to myself, we screwed because the pressure has gotten to him. When you're crying like that. Now, if this is after a playoff game, okay, I get it. But if you're week 4, week 5, and you're already that pressure is already in your head like that, you're screwed. You're very much screwed. So I really think that our fans let our bias get the best of us a lot this
Mhm,
season, and
mhm.
is easy. It was easier to blame the offensive coordinator when it wasn't all his fault, in my opinion. I think a lot of that was we just did not have adequate quarterback play.
So hang on, because I had this talk with my homies, and I'm gonna tell you, my homies, they pretty much tore me a new one. You know most of my homies. You know Miss Carey, you know Big Low, you know Chris A1, you know Jack Spade. Now,
Yes.
Jack Spade, Chris A1, I think Jack was doing his own thing or whatever. But I'm telling you that Miss Carey, she was 21 carry today. Okay. And that Big Low, let me tell you what they said. They said, well, if you look at both Cousins and Penix, they have the equal passing percentage, right? Or completion percentage.
Yeah,
Kirk's been in the years, been in the league for like 14 years.
correct.
What do they have in common? It's the passing coordinator. Then they got to third down, they got to repetitive plays. They got to predictive play calling, right? You get at low completion rates. Sometimes you got receivers out of place. You got miscommunications on offense. You got poor timing throws. You got third down misses. And what they were saying essentially is if the defense knows what's coming, it's easier for them to defend. So even though we have numbers, sometimes numbers can be skewed, right?
Mhm.
Because when I told them that, first of all, they were super excited about you coming on the show. But secondly, they were like, well, they like I said, they tore me a new one. They were like, how dare you say that it's anybody other than Zach Robinson? I mean, y'all see Carrie and y'all think Carrie's nice, but and she is like Carrie's like a sister to me. Okay, she's family. But boy, when she gets something in her mind, okay? So I bring it up to say that, fair's fair. We were extremely predictable this year, Tidy.
Mhm.
So much so that when we played San Francisco, the cornerback said, well, I knew what was coming. I saw him in motion. I just jumped the route.
Mhm.
That's not on the quarterback. That's on play calling. Eric says Carrie's a sweetheart. To you? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Carrie. I'm just playing, Carrie. I don't beat me up. I'm just playing. But she has a point. When a cornerback from the other team says we knew what was coming and it's predictive, that is on the offensive coordinator. What do you have to say to that?
I have a few things to say to that. That's when Penix was playing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're automatically eliminating going on the center. Well, we'll probably touch on that a little bit later, but that's
Oh,
one
we're
component of
gonna
it.
touch on it. Did you see that show with Ovi and Michael
Uh,
Turner today?
I seen the highlights of it.
Oh, so you know where I'm going.
Yeah,
Okay,
I do.
cool. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. That's one component of it. You take away the element of being able to go on the center. A second part of it is like that's football. Because you have to keep in mind, and I know T Will, you probably won't like this answer. And I know a lot of people won't, but that's football. Like these guys, like T Will, when me and you get up in the morning, brush our teeth, get dressed, and we go
Mhm.
off to work for 8, 10, or 12, how many hours, they do the same thing. But what they're doing for 4 or 5 days continuous before they play a game, they're doing nothing but watching film, study, watching film, study, watch film, study. They're picking up on tendencies. Hey man, if Penix, pat his left shoulder, that's nervous energy. They're probably gonna run to the left side with Bijan. So they're doing nothing but watching what you do. And a lot of times in the NFL, a team won't put in a bunch of new plays that they haven't, practiced a lot. And I'm not trying to take away the predictability part of it,
Right.
but as professionals, that's their job to be familiar with what's about to come on the field. Just like our defensive guys,
They get paid too, is what you say.
they get paid too. Yeah, they watch a lot of film.
I get it. I get it. Well, and again, to Carrie's point, if you look at Kirk and you look at Penix, their numbers are almost identical. right? Kirk threw 5 interceptions, Penix threw 3, but 10 TDs through 10 games, 9 TDs through 9 games. That's 1 TD a game. Their numbers are identical. Kirk has 14 years experience. Again, because again, if there was a discrepancy in the numbers, I could say, okay, well, maybe and look, I'm not saying Penix was great by any stretch of the imagination. I'm
Right.
not saying Kirk is great by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, during the show last week, I'm gonna bring up what you said. You said Kirk is washed. You said it, not me, right? You remember
Hmm.
that. But
Yeah.
I think what you were saying is basically he's getting older. He's lost a little bit on his fastball. Father time's undefeated,
Right.
and that could be. And I'm not saying you're wrong because he looked okay, but he didn't look great this year, right?
Right.
But
Outside of Tampa.
yeah, and you know what I think that is? Kirk keeps a notebook on everybody. And I think he knows the goods when it comes to their head coach because he's faced him multiple times.
Yeah.
I just think, there's
T.
certain
Will,
guys.
say that again for me, if you don't mind. Repeat that phrase.
Wait, what I say?
Keeps a notebook.
Yeah, he keeps a notebook. Yeah, he does. He keeps a notebook on all of the defensive coordinators in the league, right? But you're obviously making a point, so go ahead.
The point I'm making is it correlates with the predictability portion that I mentioned a moment ago. I'm not trying to say like everybody knows everybody plays or Kirk knows everything that Tampa Bay is going to do, but like you said here, Kirk does his homework on Tampa, on Todd Bowles, so he has a competitive advantage in a sense because of that reason. And if you got a real good player, I mean, you take probably the consensus GOAT, Tom Brady. All he preached about was how much I studied. Like people they always worry about the game, but they didn't see how much work I put in the film room. They didn't see how much practicing and studying I did. And that's why Tom, had a leg up on a lot of people. And this might be going a little bit out left field, but what's the Tampa Bay's defensive line? Is it Gerald McCoy? Did he
Yeah,
play for Tampa?
yeah,
He came out like maybe a month or two ago, and he said they picked up on Matt Ryan's tendencies because they watched the film and they figured out where his
right.
tendencies were. Did you see that?
I didn't see it. No.
Yeah, yeah, and they said that as well. Again, I'm not trying to make excuses for Zach, but some players, some teams, like they're gonna be prepared enough for look, we've seen this before. I mean, we see it every week, T. Will, when a team, we can take the Falcons out of it. You run a certain play, especially on a lot of these screens. Hey man, we was ready for that. We was ready for that. So that's an element of football. And I think when it comes to the Falcons, a lot of times we just don't like to admit it.
Yeah, I mean, look, Lowe said it best today, and for the record, Lowe and Miss Carey, they took me to church, and they were like, "Now you know better, D. Well, you know better. You get on that program and embarrass us."
We taught you better than that.
Yes, right. So they felt like it's the coordinator, but one thing that Lowe said is, you know, everybody's baby is pretty to them.
Yeah, he said
You get
that
what I'm saying?
last night too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody, and that's true, right? It's funny because I was like, yeah, I've seen some not so attractive babies, and I think Lo was like,
Don't do that to you.
Lo was like, no. Lo was like, yeah, I just say, oh, that baby, wow, they loved it there. Oh, that baby's something else, and I was like, you know what? That's good. But they say ugly babies turn into pretty people, so it evens out.
That's what they say.
I'm just saying. That's what I heard. That's the rumor. I don't know. That's the rumor. But anyway, argument against changing the OC. New coordinator and new QB accuracy, new scheme, faster reads, new playbook, better third down poise. That's against changing the OC. Larry Sams Jr., you must have seen my baby picture. Larry, I'm sure you weren't an ugly baby. Whatever. I'm not even gonna go there, bro. Uh Fandemic says all babies are beautiful, and they are. Fandemics, they are. That's right, and I'm not going to say any different because my wife watches this show. All right, so argument for better QB play: completion percentage jumps, third down jump, EPA flips to positive, EPA flips, touchdowns rise, offense jumps up. Yada 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 yada. You can make arguments for, you can make arguments against. Um, Projection: league average QB efficiency puts Atlanta top 10 or 12 in the league. Same scheme, better execution. That goes along with what you said. Now, again, where I have issues with this is, again, it doesn't account for context, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't account for why are we in pistol 90% of the time, and every time you run damn what's his name in motion, we know you're gonna run the ball, Zach Robinson.
Right.
We know you're gonna run the ball, right? Run him to the other side. Fake him out. How about you run a play action off that play, right? This is my issue with Zach Robinson. Kyle Shanahan. We all know Mr. Kyle. Some of us hate him. Some of us love him. Some of us are indifferent. But one thing about Kyle Shanahan will run a play in a game. I'm clapping my hands for emphasis. Kyle Shanahan will run a play in a game 3-4 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he'll run a duo to the right 3 times. That 4th time, it's going to be play action.
Right.
And it's going to be a pass to the other side of the field where the tight end has snuck away from the defensive end because they're thinking they've run this play, we're going for it, and now it's wide open and it's a 20-yard pass. In other words, you're running plays for a purpose. We didn't see that with Zach Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
And you could make the argument that if we did, maybe the offense is better, right? The other thing is, and I just got to go here, you were elevated. We never saw Nick Nash. We never saw Chris Blair. Chris Blair was a star in preseason. He caught a touchdown in every game, Tidy.
Right.
Yet we got David, and no disrespect to David Sills. Okay. But a lot of these guys that we had playing receiver just didn't work out. They weren't getting open.
Right.
Right? What do you say to that? Because we can look at these, but we also, again, we got to get into the meat. We got to get to the root, or the root, as my grandmother used to say.
Roots.
The root. I'm from Alabama. The root. Best thing coming out of Alabama is I-20. I'd say that because I'm from there. Don't bother me, Eric. I know I shouldn't have said it. Anyway, give me your thoughts regarding that.
In regards to not seeing a player like Nick Nash, it's really hard for me to say exactly why we really didn't see him in any regular season games that I can really recall.
Mm-hmm.
I also asked myself, well, if I'm being objective, T-Will, what round was he drafted?
Ooh. You got me late round, right? What, we talking about Nick Nash?
Yeah. Okay. I'll help you out a little bit on the round. It was late.
Yeah.
I'm talking about if you buying a Christmas present on December 29th and you trying to tell, man, I've been had this present. I just ain't see you on Christmas. I'm talking about late.
I got the receipt from 11:59 on December the 24th.
Right.
You can see it. 11:59 p.m.
Right.
11. I got it. Okay.
Right. So my point in saying that is again our fan base. Like, we're making a big deal because we didn't play an undrafted free agent, and 98.9% of the time you're undrafted for a reason. Now, some guys, they'll fall through the crack, but typically guys are not drafted for a reason. There is something there. Not only did the Falcons not play him in the regular season, You had every single team in the NFL say, "No, you're not worthy of a draft pick. You're not worthy of a draft pick. You're not worthy of a draft pick. You're not even worthy to be the final draft pick in the NFL draft." So a guy like Nick Nash, I think he just signed with Washington. If he goes there and he becomes something, kudos to him. I'll tip my hat to him. But I'm not mad about not playing an undrafted free agent. It's just like, I think the Ray, I was gonna say Mysterio.
Let me find out you watching my Marvel content, Tidy. Anyway, go ahead. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. What you got?
I feel like Ray McLeod is a bigger story than that. I mean, that's an undrafted free agent. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but Ray sucked this year. I mean, bro, he was terrible.
Yeah, he was.
Speaking of Mysterio, okay, since you brought it up by accident, Dixon Way, Dixon Way, right?
Larry?
Dixon Way.
Yeah, YouTube, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Dixon Way and I are in a very heated debate.
Okay.
Very, very heated debate concerning the Marvel Universe. Now, I just need you to hear me before you judge me. I just need you to hear me. Okay?
All right,
just hear me out. Because what I say is going to sound kind of weird. So you know who Mysterio is in the Marvel Universe, correct?
I'll be honest. I only know him from wrestling.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Wrong. Well, we're here now, so we're just going to go with it. Mysterio is a villain. He's the villain in Spider-Man 3, the most recent Spider-Man movie. He's the villain. And what he does is he uses mirages, right? So he makes you see things that aren't there, right? That's what he does. Anyway, in the end of the movie, my brother's like shaking my head. Whatever, Eric. In the end of the movie, right? Mysterio he basically got mad with Tony Stark because Tony didn't use his swag or Tony didn't use his technology and he got pissed off, right?
Yeah.
So he creates this illusion that says Spider-Man killed me and Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Now, Peter Parker is not rich. He's not Tony Stark, so he can't just up and move. He's got family members and the entire world is pissed with Peter Parker. And he did this just because he lost. This to me is the definition of evil. Okay. So what I said to Larry, is that, and just hear me out, it's going to sound a little crazy. Okay. What I said to Larry is that Mysterio is more evil than Thanos. I know Thanos killed half the universe. I know. But Thanos did it because he's trying to preserve life. Mysterio did it just to be evil. He was Twitter trolling. He's a Twitter troller dude. Okay? But he's more evil. Okay? So I'm just saying, that's the debate. Now that you've heard, what say you? Please agree with me. I'm just kidding. What say you? Give me your thoughts.
Since I'm very unfamiliar with it, you're right. I'm gonna agree.
Thank you.
You absolutely right. I don't know what Larry talking about.
Thank you. Where the hell are you, Larry? What the hell is wrong with you, Larry? Whatever. I told you. All right, let's get back to it. I'm just being funny. All right, so let's see here. Anticipation throws on 3rd and 6. Red zone decisiveness, coverage manipulation, situational command. And I agree with this pertaining to Penix. I do. I agree with that. Because I never saw him look anybody off. I did not see that.
Yeah.
Now there are times he did throw with anticipation, to be fair.
Yes.
But there are times that he didn't. There were also times where he threw flat-footed and didn't get anything on it. And I noticed that his mechanics regressed. Now, to that end, no, don't clap. Because we're about to go there, my friend. We're about to go into some territory. We're about to piss some folks off. I think you know where I'm going, because we talked about this earlier, right? All right. So again, to those of you in the chat who's joined us, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. I'm not trying to upset you. I didn't say this.
He trying to upset y'all.
I'm not trying to upset you. Okay. I didn't say this. But I'm listening to the show because I'm just I'm just T Will. You know what I mean? I listen to your show, listen to Uncle Steve, listen to Big Low, I listen to A1, I listen to Smitty, I listen to Fandemic, I listen to Coach, I listen to a whole lot of folks, people I didn't even think about, right? But I have to be listening to Ovi and Michael Burn Turner, and they dropped a bomb today, sir.
Mhm.
They dropped a bomb. And it wasn't a grenade, it was nuclear. Okay? It was a nuclear bomb. So to those of you who did not see the reel, they basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, but they were suggesting that Penix was hurt the entire time, which is why they did not want to run anything other than pistol, because if you came in the league with a partially torn ACL, that would make sense. Or if your other knee's already hurt, that would make sense. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I did think about it. I've thought this to myself. I would never be bold enough to say that, because who the hell am I? Right?
Mhm.
So, but now that they did,
Yeah.
let's go there.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
Let's go.
Give me now that is a very, as a matter of fact, I think Penix responded saying, "Come on, man," or whatever, or
Be for
something
real. Yeah.
right. Be for real. Give me your thoughts on this. Is there a universe where this is even possible? Or is this just gaslighting for the sake of gaslighting? Like, give me your thoughts on this.
I don't think it's gaslighting for the sake of gaslighting, because I obviously you keep up with their show,
Mhm.
and that's not the type of content that they put out. They're not trying to be shock jocks.
Not at all. Not at all.
They're trying to talk to us from the perspective of guys who played at a very high level in the NFL,
Mhm.
and who are still obviously Falcons fans.
Mhm. And who would know?
Right? And who would know? And who would know? I think I'm not saying that he was or he wasn't, but I think it is within the realm of possibility that he was. When he missed that game, pardon me, was it Miami? I don't remember which game it was.
I think it's Miami.
All right, he missed that game because of a knee issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I might be off by a game or two, but correct me if I'm wrong, T. Will or Chad. When he came back and started after he sat out, did he not get hurt the very next game he came back, or the game afterwards?
I think he did.
To me, that's an indictment of something was probably there already.
Okay.
Because that he probably had a sore knee, maybe it was a little liquid in there. He could have, when he missed that first game, it could have been torn already at that point in time.
It could have been.
Then once he got officially hurt, it ripped even more.
Yeah.
That's how ligaments work. And I know this because I've torn ACLs in both my knees.
Yeah.
I've torn a PCL and an MCL.
Yep.
And you can be hurt and just make it even worse. So what Ovi and Michael Turner is saying, it's possible. They wouldn't know.
So and here's the thing that has most people in arms. They're saying that from day one, this was hurt. The case, right? Which is that's a different statement. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then you're talking about really malpractice.
Yeah.
On the behalf of the Falcons for even doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm just a fry cook. You know what I mean? I just podcast every now and then. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but so here's what I think happened. Mm-hmm. And this is just me. It's just my opinion. I don't think that he was hurt last year, because there were plays last year where he did take plays under center.
And he ran more.
And he did run more. But I definitely think that he was hurt a lot earlier than what they say this season. And the thing about Raheem is Raheem doesn't really classify a broken shoulder or a little, or actually, he does classify a boo boo and a broken shoulder as the same thing. It's just a little, you know, it's just a little boo boo. He'll be out for, and
Yeah,
then we find
little hangnail, just a
little
hangnail.
hangnail, you know what I mean? And then we find out like 8 weeks, this dude had a broken shoulder. He never got better this year. For
Right.
all intents and purposes, he never got better. He got better in like game, I don't know, 16, game 17, whatever. So that's my opinion. It doesn't make it true, right? But the one thing that we've seen about this organization, they are not necessarily or have no. I'm you know what? I'm going to confine this to just this regime, to this
Okay.
administration. The
That's fair.
Raheem administration has never been forthcoming with information.
I agree.
I don't believe a word they say when it comes to injuries. I don't, right? We
I
got the
absolutely
debacle.
agree.
Yeah, we got the debacle last year with Kirk, where you know what I mean. You can, if you watch the game, you can see his arm get bent back like 10 degrees. And I can tell you, a human arm is just not meant for that.
Right.
Okay. So he was basically, you got your shoulder, you've got this ball and joint up here, right? And then you've got your elbow. And I honestly think they were both hurt on that play. And you're already dealing with jelly legs because you're coming back off of an Achilles
Yeah.
at 37. He had nothing. And if you want to know the truth, he's been okay. He's not looked great this year. Now, he looked better than he did toward the end of last year,
Right. I
right?
agree.
But my point, and I promise you there is a point, is that Penix could have been hurt the entire year. We don't know. But I think it's funny that you ran him in under center last year. Now, you didn't, it wasn't the bulk of what you did, but you certainly ran more plays under center than you did this year. So, what happened in the offseason? And this was his rookie year. So, if he's smart enough to understand it in 2024, wouldn't he be even smarter in 2025? So, if that's the case, why not run it more? Why is it that 90% of your offense is through pistol? Why is it that 89% of the time when you run Charlie Warner in motion, it's a run play? These are high school numbers. These are high school tendencies. And I ain't talking the inner city. I'm talking in the sticks where they may not have internet. I live in the sticks. I can crack that joke. Okay. Okay, y'all. I live in the sticks. I can crack that joke. All right. Let's it was I feel like with this administration, there's so much we don't know that wasn't communicated. And not that they have to, but don't lie to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just whatever. Okay. Anyway. Larry says wing tee.
That's what we ran in my high school wing team.
The veer. The
Yep.
veer. We're gonna run the veer. Let's go, Titans. What do you say? What do you say? 36 George Blast like your life depended on it. Like your life depended on it. Hey, you miss a block, you run a mile.
Oh man.
What do you say? Wait, he said, wait. You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a block, you run a mile. You fumble my football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts. And then you will run a mile. Perfection. Just saying. All right, let's get back to this. I'm clowning. So ultimately, the decision is ours. Chat, you, Tidy. I feel like this iteration of Falcons quarterbacks is Matt Ryan in his prime? Absolutely not. I don't. I can agree.
Not even close.
But I do believe that if you have a coordinator where the plays are not so predictable, where you don't run silly plays like the tight end screen to Kyle Pitts, when we all know that's not going anywhere, I think you'd get better results, right?
Yeah.
The AI doesn't agree with me. The AI agrees with you. Okay? Whatever. I don't agree with you, AI. Um
The AI is very smart. I'll say that. Very,
of
very smart.
course you'd say that.
That,
Of
that's why
course you
that's why it's
would.
running the world right now.
Oh,
It's
is that
very
okay?
smart.
Is that it? Okay, is
It's
that okay?
very smart.
All right, Sarah Connor. All right, buddy. When they get tired of us, when, when me and you gonna be on the podcast, that's gonna be it. Got it. Strikes. We're gonna see about
Oh,
it. Oh man.
keep that same energy, huh?
So this graphic is just showing how wonderful we did. Because I knew by this point you'd be gloating, so I just I had to humble you a little bit. 30th and third down conversions, tidy.
Yeah.
30th. Okay. Give me your thoughts. Let's shift gears a little bit.
Hmm.
Who do you think the Falcons need to bring in here? And before I do that, John Harbaugh was like he wants $20 million, total control. He wants to pick his own GM. He ain't coming here.
Oh
Okay,
no, he's not coming to Atlanta. When that
he's,
broke today, I said, "Well,
he's not
scratch him
coming.
off all of it. He ain't
He's
coming
not.
here."
He's not coming here. So those of you who are looking forward to seeing John Harbaugh, you'll see him when he's coaching another team playing us. He will not be coaching here. So
Correct.
with that being said, right, who would you like to see as the next Falcons head coach? And chat, you guys let me know what you think. Who would you guys like to see as the next Falcons head coach? Go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna say Clint Kubiak. I said that when I think when me and you and Lo was on the show, but I'm gonna say Clint Kubiak at this point in time. He has had success with quarterbacks. He's kind of that infusion of that young offensive mind, and with Michael Penix still in tow, I really want us to go to an offense centric head coach.
Mhm.
Because I'm hoping Penix ends up being our franchise guy. And in the NFL, when your team succeeds, like I hope the Falcons do, they're going to start pulling your offensive coordinators away from you. So with that being said, I want to be able to continue to have the same system, same scheme, the same plays. With a head coach, who's on the offensive side of the ball. So right now, I would say Clint Kubiak. That's who I want to go
That's
with.
first. Okay.
Yeah.
All right? So if it's Clint Kubiak, who do you want for your offensive coordinator? I think I know who you want for your D coordinator, but who do you want for your offensive coordinator and D coordinator?
That's a good question. What's the guy's name that I kind of want to say Matt LaFleur, but
He's gonna get a head coaching gig. If Green Bay fires him, he's gonna get a head coaching gig.
yeah,
I don't see. I love him. Don't get me wrong. I'd love for him to be. I'm with you. I
yeah,
still see. I don't see it though. But I mean that's fair. What about defense coordinator?
I say just keep Jeff Ulbrich here.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
because if he stays in, the chances are good you can keep a lot of the rest of the staff that works under him, like Nate Ollie. Even though a lot of people don't say his name, I think he did a stupendous job this year. With his position group. And from the interviews that I saw before we even played our first regular season game, Will, I saw the young guys, hey, Coach Ollie, and I could kind of see that bond and chemistry that he had with the guys. So I would like to keep Jeff Ulbrich in tow. Arthur Blank says this a lot, which is I do agree with him. I think continuity is very, very important in
Yes.
the NFL, and keeping the same core group of guys together playing for the same coach. So Jeff Ulbrich will have my vote. Hopefully he'll stay here.
Okay. Coach from the coach's corner. What up, Coach? He was on the same show. He says you give John everything he wants. And I promise you, he said it just like that, with like that. Made that you give John everything he wants. Like, I don't know. I ain't giving John that, Coach, but hey, you're coach. I'm not. I'll give it to you. Voodoo Lounge says Gruden. I don't know about Gruden. I don't know. 31 Spider Banana. I don't know. Where are you on Gruden? because
Mm,
he said some wild stuff, man. And I'm be honest, if I'm a player, that's gonna be in the back of my mind.
yeah,
You
yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like he said, if y'all don't know what Gruden said, look, he said some wild, outlandish stuff, man.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
wild, okay? It was like wild, wild, like
yeah,
wild,
yeah.
like get your cancer wild. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, it was wild. I'm
Gruden
not,
way down on my list.
bruh. I mean, and he's a good coach, right?
Right,
But there's certain things you just can't come back from, bruh.
right.
You know what I mean? Like you that's that's like talking about somebody's mama, and they find out what are you gonna say? There's nothing you can say. You know what I mean? I hate his mama cornbread. God, she can't cook. You're never coming over again. You're not gonna be invited. You're just not.
No more
Okay?
Thanksgiving.
No more Thanksgiving for you. No soup for you. I'm just saying. But hey, I mean, look, Gruden's a good. Now that I say all that, Gruden is a good coach,
Hmm.
and I mean maybe a consultant, but I can't see him leading a group of men, mainly African American, with the stuff he said. It's just foul.
Yeah.
It's foul. It'd be like Corey Holcomb leading a women's soccer team. Just kidding to them too. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Don't come after me, Corey. I'm nobody, Corey. I'm not even worth your time. It's a joke. All right. So coach's corner. Pete. Wait, Pete? What Pete
Think
we thought?
I think it means Pete Carroll. I'm guessing.
Pete Carroll? Pete? I don't know
Yeah.
about that. Okay,
No,
Mike
no.
and LaFleur. Well, you know what? That it was the Raiders, right? So let me ask you this: when it comes to Pete Carroll, he's lost a little on his fastball. We
Yeah.
we can acknowledge.
Yeah.
But do you think in the right situation that he could coach, or to quote you, is he washed?
He's
Is Pete
washed.
washed?
He's
He's
washed.
washed.
He's
Okay.
washed. And I coach gonna get mad at me for saying this, but Bill Belichick, he's washed.
Let me tell you
Um,
something. Bill Belichick been washed for about 5 years.
yes,
Okay,
and
because
thank you, T. Will.
he ran.
I,
Let, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
let's go.
Let's talk about it. So, and again, chat, I mean no offense. I'm not trying to offend you. These are just opinions. Who am I? I'm just a podcast host. That's it. All right. But in my humble opinion, he ran the Patriots into the ground. By the end, nobody wanted to work for him. Voodoo says Marcus Freeman. I love it. I love it. I love it. The coach for Notre Dame. I mean,
And
maybe,
not a bad choice.
maybe.
I don't think he's probably not going to hit this
Doesn't
interview
he give
cycle.
them time off though? Doesn't he give them a lot? It's not like a controversy with him giving them time off or something like. Did you hear that about him? Like they only practice at certain times. I mean, it worked last year,
Yeah, it worked last
but
year.
they sucked this year. Like I don't know. I don't know. Marcus, you know, I don't know, man. He does have energy. I like Marcus Freeman. I like Marcus Freeman. I just don't know if he's ready to coach an NFL team.
Yeah, and
I like his energy. I do like him,
and
but
that
I
and
don't.
that's a big thing too, because I'm of course I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan, and I hear
Go
the
dog.
Georgia Go Dogs,
Go
the
dog.
Georgia Bulldogs homer. Oh, go get Kirby. Go, like
Nah, leave Kirby
Kirby
alone.
don't want to come to the
No, he does not.
NFL. Like,
No, he does not.
why would he want to leave that palace to come down to? I won't say Shaq, but low income.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Kirby is king around them parts, sir. Okay?
Right,
Kirby is the king. Kirby don't pay for nothing.
right.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help? Coach Kirby? You get whatever you want for free, but come on around here. You know you don't pay. You know you don't pay. Come on in here. Welcome to Longhorns. Kirby, you want your usual section? Come on over here, Kirby.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Your
It's
favorite
okay.
waiter?
Right. You know what I mean? You're gonna have like Kirby don't pay. Kirby's not coming here.
No, yeah.
But Marcus Freeman is intriguing. He's anyway. Back to that. Let's get to Bill Belichick. Nobody wanted to play for him towards the end. Nobody. He was hiring his family for assistant coaching positions QA position because nobody wanted to work with him. The only guys that'll work with him is Matt Patricia, who is an ass.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Matt Patricia. And what's his name? The offensive coordinator, who
Josh
was
McDaniels.
who was kind of shady, who was like, I want this head coaching. No, I don't. You know what? I know you committed resources and put the media out there, but I changed my mind. You know what?
I'm good.
I can change my mind. I can, like, you know what I mean? This is the kind of character you're dealing with, right? And then he wanted total control. Now, if this was Belichick from 12 years ago, I'd have done it in a heartbeat.
Right.
But
we all would have.
But this Belichick is not going to resonate with younger players.
Right.
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 So people got to realize when you're a coach, you got to appeal to, they got to connect with you.
Right.
The reason Raheem is beloved is because he can connect with people. Hell, he goes out to the clubs with them. I'm just kidding. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. But Raheem is relatable, right? Hell, I would love to hang out with Raheem. Okay, let me tell you something. Raheem may not be a great coach, but damn it, he is one of my favorite speakers. Okay, when I get my fat ass on that treadmill, I listen to Raheem. I'll say it. You guys can judge me if you want. I do. I put on his speeches and he'll get you going. He will get you going. We're gonna outrun the South. It's all I worked out to. Probably why I'm still fat. But I like Raheem as a speaker. I think he's articulate. I think he's passionate. I just don't think he is a leader of a franchise, right?
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. But he connects with people. Belichick isn't connecting with anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because to be honest, Belichick was the old grumpy dad that nobody liked. And Tom Brady was the mom. Well, you know your father loves you. He didn't mean to miss your game, Tommy. He loves you. Yes, he knows your name, Tommy. Yeah, of course he knows your name. His name's Tommy. He knows your name, Tommy. It's like that's who. So Tom Brady was the connective tissue with that organization. Right? And I'm not, look, Belichick's probably one of the greatest defensive minds ever. That's fine. That is a part of coaching. But another part of you got to connect with your players. Right?
Right.
And who does Belichick connect with but his 20-something-year-old girlfriend? Nobody.
And to be honest with you, I don't even think there's a connection there. That's just all about money.
Hey, man, I am not a hater. Belichick is winning. Okay, he is winning. Now, that ain't my style because I've been married for 32 years. Love you, Kim, if you watch it. Love you if you don't. But he's winning, man. You're 70 and he's winning. Okay, I can't take that away from him. I don't even want to imagine it because but he's winning.
Yeah, he's winning. What I'm saying though, if he was just like,
of course,
it
can't be anything but that.
That's all it is. You know, she wouldn't pay him no mind.
He's old enough to be her pop. You know what I mean?
Times two.
Like, right, granddad. Right, pop. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah. So JLTCDM 369 LaFleur. If he leaves Green Bay, then Kubiak. Coach's Corner says that's it. Voodoo says Marcus Freeman. You know, Voodoo, I gotta think about that. That's not necessarily bad. Auntie Pam agrees with Kirk. LaFleur. Millie Mills says LaFleur, if possible. McDaniels
is a good one.
And Ulbrich is DC. Yeah, but I think McDaniels has that same Raheem thing going. In other words, the players love him, but you know, if you got kids, you can't be just their friends. There comes a time when you have to put foot to butt. You know what I mean? And it's a fine, and your kids, everybody shouldn't hate you, right? But everybody shouldn't like you because there's some folks you got to get on.
Right.
There's some folks you get what I'm saying?
You got to be tough.
Like my dad always used to say, if everybody likes you, it's a problem. You know, if everybody hates you, it's a problem. But if everybody likes you, because it should be some folks that you make a stand with, that you're just like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And I think with McDaniels, like, it's easy to come in and say, hey, you know, I'm a player's coach. You guys can come and talk to me. And that works as long as you're winning and everything is okay. But the first time you got to discipline somebody, if you're not consistent, it's going to be a problem,
Yep.
right? If you let this guy get it, and look it, I'm not saying that you treat people the same way because you don't. There's no way you're going to treat Bijan Robinson the same way you would treat
David Seals.
JD Bertrand. You just not. You just not. Okay.
Right.
You just not. You just not. Okay. If Bijan is late, I'm gonna say something. But it is if Bertrand, you better not. You better
Get
nothing.
cut.
You hear me? And you better have my coffee when you come here, JD. You know what I like? Man, better have 2 sugars. I'm being facetious, but the bottom line is you still have to hold players accountable.
Right.
And it just seems like that wasn't going on with this Falcons team. Do you agree or disagree? Like, give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I agree to an extent. With Raheem to me had a personality where he tried too hard to be like it's almost like Eddie Haskell.
Yes.
And the reason
Yes. But you got to some folks are young. You got to explain who Eddie Haskell is, right?
what was it? Leave It to
Leave It
Beaver,
to
right?
Beaver.
Yeah.
Right. Leave It to Beaver. So yeah, Eddie Haskell was a character on Leave It to Beaver, and Eddie was a devil when the adults weren't around. But when the adults were around, hi, Mr. Cleaver, how are you?
Yeah.
How are you? He was like this obnoxious ass kisser, right?
Yeah. And
How's your day to day?
And let me give you a good example of why I say that. One thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was really the final thing we saw from Raheem. When after he did his press conference, he went and hugged the owner, the son. I mean, to me, that was so fake. Like you can't do that. And they were like, well, he do that after every press conference. Why? Why? Just shake their hand and walk out of the room.
You don't think it's genuine?
No, not sincerely. I think it's ass kissing. And I don't
Mr.
like it.
Cleaver, how are you?
Yeah, that's what Haskell.
Cleaver.
And a Haskell.
And then as soon as they leave, hey man, we're gonna go get some weed. Let's go get some. We're gonna have these hoes up here. Let's go. You know what I mean? As soon as they come around, hi, Mr. Cleaver, how are you today? What a most awesome day. Oh my gosh, those roses. Oh, Mrs. Cleaver, they're just chef's kiss. You know what I mean? Just I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I don't know, man. I didn't get the Eddie. I didn't get the Eddie Haskell vibe, but I did get that.
Before you answer, T. Will, I'm gonna give you an example that maybe will drive it home outside of Eddie.
Okay.
Haskell.
Okay.
It's kind of like the example that you just gave, like with the coach and the players, like how you can't be everybody's friend.
Exactly.
Like it goes the same way for ownership and coaches. You know, I don't want to see my head coach feel like he has to hug the owner's son, the owner's auntie, and you know this guy on the right, this guy. Like, why are you doing that? Like, that was just so unneeded to me.
It's unprofessional, is what.
It's like, why? Why? Like, it's like you're trying to do that to keep them so close that they won't think about firing you. Like, bro, no, you don't need to do all that. Like, that really rubbed me the wrong way.
But what if like that's so you're saying that's not him off camera? Like that's not him. If he wasn't like if there wasn't something in it for him, he would not be that jovial. He would not be that celebratory. He would not be that
personable.
Yes. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he would be rude. I'm saying hey, handshake, how you doing? But all this, like what are we doing?
You're saying it's too much.
That's too much. It's over the top.
That's fair. That's fair. I just think it, to your point, if you have to discipline somebody, you have to be able to separate that, right?
Right.
Like I was a manager in corporate America. I've always worked in telecom, but probably I was a supervisor for about 7-8 years. And it's all fun until you have to fire somebody. Because then the truth comes out.
Yeah.
Like everything they thought about you, it's gonna come out because they're mad. Right. And
Right.
you have to be able to separate that. You have to be, I hated firing people. That's it.
Yeah.
That is the main reason I got out of man, because I did not want to have to do that. When you have to lay somebody off
Yeah.
and you got to make a choice, and this guy's good, and this guy's good, and this guy's got a family, and this guy's got a family, and it's not even your choice. I mean, now it's all done based on some algorithm or some system, but you got to let somebody go. And well, what about so and so? You know what I mean? So you have to be nice enough and professional, and of course you support them, but you also have to hold back a little because you have to have those difficult conversations. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And when if it's a love, oh, I love my head. What happens in the day he got to let you go? Are you
Yeah.
gonna love him then?
Like earlier this week.
Right. Right. Well, and you know what? I just thought that was so interesting, man. I really did, because you see him hugging him, right? And we joked about this on Uncle Steve's show, but it's like afterwards, it's like, yeah, Raheem, don't leave just yet. Come on back here, buddy. Close
bring,
that door.
bring that
Let's
key card with you too.
let's have a conversation. Yeah, yeah. But wait, no. It's okay. Just yeah, but leave that key. You won't need to be parked anymore. Like I brought this up, and it's like that scene in Goodfellas where they took him to the basement. You're right.
Yeah.
Where they took Joe Pesci to the basement, and he thinks he's getting made,
Yeah.
right? And
He
he's
got
super
made all right.
excited. Oh, he got made all right. He got made into the afterlife. But
Uh-huh.
the point is, like, it seemed like he didn't see it coming. Now, again, to your point, that may have not been true. That could have all been theater, right? But it seemed like, because even in the post conference, he's talking about the post game conference, he's talking about next year,
Right.
right? So a logical assessment is that he didn't see it coming, which is not funny,
Right.
but maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe just, so God, yeah, next year we're gonna, oh, you need you need to talk to me, okay? And I know anticipation of death is worse than death itself. I know when he walked in that room, he's like, oh damn,
Here we
oh
go.
man,
Here we
oh
go.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's I feel, and I'm not laughing because I'm not happy that he, but the thing about, I think Arthur's agreed to pay him out the 3 years, right? So that's good.
Oh yeah, he have to. He's on the
That
contract.
was cool. That's cool. So he made out, but I just thought, wow, man. So anyway, all right. So you got Kubiak. Who's your second choice?
Second choice for head coach. I've thought about Stefanski a little bit, but I wouldn't call him my second choice.
How do you feel about Stefanski? With the whole Shador thing, right?
Mhm.
Do you feel like that was Stefanski or that was ownership?
Who brought Shador to the team?
No, who wanted to make sure Shador didn't start? Who
I think
played those? Go ahead.
I think that was probably more the head coach. And now here come another unpopular opinion, T. Will. See, whenever you bring me on your show, I'm gonna have a bunch of unpopular opinions.
I love it. Let's
I'm
just
gonna go ahead and
piss
tell you
everybody off tonight. Let's
Yeah.
piss them all off. Let's do it. Okay, go ahead.
People not gonna like this, but I understood Stefanski's stance because the whole Shador thing has turned into more than just football, and he's trying to run a football team.
Okay.
And it's not, and I'm not blaming Shador for anybody, send me some dirty, nasty, cuss word emails or texts. But
Oh boy.
Shador is no fault of Shador's, let me be clear, but he is a distraction. he's a distraction on the football team for a coach, and I must be honest in my assessment in saying that.
Why do
Because
you say he's a distraction?
he's a distraction because Shador, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Shador Sanders is the NFL's version of Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. You got two factions in a very intense debate, argument, difference of opinion
Right.
for a certain reason. It's this versus this.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what Stefanski did, you're gonna have a large segment of people pointing a finger at him. And even after games before Shador became the starter, well, hey, Shador did this. What about Shador? What about it? And you could tell after a while it just started pissing off. Like, he's not playing. Why do I need to speak about Shador?
Talk about him, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And like, I hear some people say, well, we should trade for Shador. Again, I know people not gonna like this, but I'm like, no, we shouldn't. Atlanta have enough distractions already just being a Falcon.
Yeah, that would that'd be because you got Penix. That'd be a nightmare.
Right.
That would be and then you got Dion. And no disrespect to Dion, he'll always be a Falcon, but Dion will be talking trash.
That's my point to you.
You know what I mean? I get it.
It's a distraction for a head coach,
I did that. I did, but I just think he was the best player. He was the best quarterback on that team.
Yeah, and he possibly was. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not follow the Browns enough to say he was or he wasn't.
Yeah, but he looked like he outperformed his counterparts. Let's put it that way. Okay,
gotcha.
Well, it was Cleveland. Whatever. All right, so you're the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. It's your first week.
Mm-hmm.
You go in with your new GM and Matty Ice, and you sit down and you have the conversation.
Right.
You're the head coach. Who's going? Who's staying? Let me give you the candidates: Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts, Ellis on defense.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anybody else.
That's a good three.
Who's going? Who's staying?
Tyler, thank you for being the ultimate professional. When we drafted Bijan, and we all thought you would be the starting running back here for at least the next 4 years, we appreciate that. But obviously, you need to spread your wings and fly away. We both sides know that. Neither side is surprised. Hey, man, we wish you the very, very best. We're gonna be room for you anytime you don't play us.
Okay.
So Tyler's gone. Mr. Kyle Pitts, great season. I need one more season like that before I commit long term. So in the meantime, here's a franchise tag.
Okay, that makes sense.
Franchise tag.
I mean, that's gonna be about what, 15 million?
About 15 million.
I'm hearing. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Caden Ellis. That's what we really got to talk, because I really like Caden Ellis a lot. T. Will.
I do too. Yeah.
My concerns first. Age. Do I want to sign a 31-year-old linebacker to a 4-year deal?
Mm-hmm.
Do it, and obviously he knows this is probably going to be his last big nice contract before he gets out the league in all likelihood. So he's going to want a lot of guaranteed money, obviously.
Yeah. As would any of us. So Caden Ellis would definitely be a conversation to have. Would love to keep him, but man, you got to be careful, because you have to ask yourself, at 31 years old, playing linebacker, the type of style linebacker he is. Mm-hmm.
Am I sure that you're gonna be the same guy 2 years from now, age 33? Or am I gonna be looking back saying, yeah, man, I shouldn't have gave him that contract. He was 31 years old. I should, I should have went with a younger guy. And then I look at the fact, like, our defense was much improved compared to 2024, but it's not like we were head of the class defensively.
Couldn't stop the run. We need a big ugly in the middle.
Yes.
We need a big ugly in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah,
so I undecided. Okay,
Okay.
undecided.
All right. So we're at the segment in the show called Buying or Selling.
Yes.
Okay. So buying or selling, the new coach is going to stick with Penix and get a stopgap QB for next year once we cut Kirk, because we don't know when Penix is going to be healthy. Buying or selling that?
Buying.
Okay. All right. Buying or selling, and these are going to get harder. Drake's a free agent in 27.
Yes, he's about to hit his 5th-year option. So yes, you're correct.
Buying or selling, Drake's contract is $32 million a year.
Buying. That's definitely close enough. Buying. Definitely.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
All right. Last one. Buying or selling. this is gonna be fun. The next head coach is gonna keep Jeff Ulbrich.
Selling.
That makes sense because you can't tell them who to hire. You know what I mean? So that and yeah. Unless it's somebody that he's cool with, but the probabilities say selling.
Selling.
Probability says selling. Okay.
Especially like when you do a whole front office sweep, when you ain't got the GM there to kind of influence, like, hey man, like this why you bring in a new, president of football operations. I would love to keep him, but I don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't see it either. I've been racking my brain to see how we could, just because 57 sacks, it just doesn't grow on trees.
Yes.
And I mean, I want and we got the two Thundercats, as Big Low would say.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, but the probability is probably not going to happen. So,
right.
All right, real quick, Falcons trivia, and then we got to go. These are easy. These are too easy, but I'm gonna ask him anyway.
Go ahead. I suck at this, but let's go.
This is easy because I said it earlier.
See if I paid attention.
I said it earlier. True or false? In 1998, the Falcons won. The Falcons' record was 13-3.
Oh, that's false.
Because they won 1998.
Yeah, they went to the Super Bowl and
what was their record?
14-2.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I see it.
Oh yeah.
You were paying attention. Okay.
Oh yeah.
The last time the Falcons won a playoff game, true or false, was 2018.
That is technically true.
Oh, you're good. You are good. You are good. Hey, share your wisdom. Why is it technically true?
Because that was the calendar year.
Yes.
It wasn't the season, but that was the calendar year.
Right. It was a 2017 year, but the game was played in 2018. You are correct. That is good. I tried to stump you. Okay. All right. So, last question. And this is an easy one. The last play of the last game that the Falcons appeared in the playoffs was from who to who?
Oh, that's too easy. I still replay that play in my head today. You know what? Before I answer, you got a backup harder one.
That's not worth my time, T. Will. Come on, you gotta make it more difficult. Come on. All right, let me
because it
Let
was
me
a terrible play call. Like, why?
it was.
You only really got one option to throw
One
the
option
ball
to go to,
to.
right? Yeah.
Oh.
One option to go to. So let me see. I don't know that I mean
And it's
these
not like Matt was mobile or athletic. So, oh
are
God.
okay. All right. Who is I don't have that. I don't have it. It's just gonna have to be. It was obviously from Matt to Julio.
Yeah.
2018 again, calendar year, same game. Roll out to the right, throws it, and it goes off Julio's hands, and we lose to the Eagles. And if what's his name, the safety, would have just made that damn interception. Oh my God, just off his chest. Just oh
Yeah.
my God. Life is so much different. Anyway, hey man, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate that. I hope
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed yourself.
I
I know
did.
I enjoyed myself. This was fun. Anytime you want to do this again, Tidy, you are welcome. Do me a favor, tell these folks where they can find you. Tell them about your show, and yeah, let's go from there.
Yeah, and again, T. Will, thank you very much for having me, man. I
Of
had a
course.
blast. We definitely got to hook up more often and do
Yeah.
this more often, man. So I definitely appreciate you bringing me on. Great show, very entertaining. You know, even though your trivia questions was just too
They
easy,
sucked.
but
I know. I know. You know what? You know what? I gotta do. Yeah, he's talking about Carlos says Keanu Neal was the one with
yes,
Stonehenge.
22.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm still mad at him for that. Because we just like here's the thing. It's like when you're doing something and you spill some water and you see it fall off the table and you're like, no, I'm watching that pass.
Yeah,
And I'm seeing him in play, and I'm like, oh yeah, because nobody's gonna touch him.
yeah,
If he catches that ball, nobody's going to touch him.
yeah,
Nobody,
yeah.
not
You're right.
even the staff. Nobody's going to touch. He has a clear path, and it just goes off his chest. And I'm still pissed at him about it. But anyway, tell us
And
folks where they can find you, man. Oh no, go
one
ahead. You about to say something?
one quick thing about that team, that defense specifically, since we talk about a defensive player before we get out of here, is unfortunately that defense is so underrated
They were
amongst the
top
fan
10, were they
base.
not? Were they
Yeah,
not top 10?
yeah. I think they were actually 8 or 9. In fact, the last month of the year, including the playoffs, they were top 5. To me, that was a Super Bowl ready defense. It
Yes,
really was.
yes,
And
yeah.
I challenge everybody to go look at the last 6-7 games and look at the playoffs. That defense did his job, but that's life of a Falcons fan. But T. Will, thank you once again for having me here, brother. I really do appreciate it. You all can find me on YouTube at Atlanta Bird Game. All over social media at Atlanta Bird Gang, so come check us out if you don't mind. I definitely do appreciate it. So again, thank you, T. Will. Enjoying myself. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat also.
Definitely. To everybody who in the chat, man, thank you guys for joining us. Last but not least, I got to do my little shameless plug here. Because I'm not a mega mogul like Tidy.
I'm
So
not either. Oh, and let
I
me
gotta
let me give you some credit real quick, T. Will. Your intro music is way better than Uncle Steve.
Oh, you like it? Thank you.
Uncle Steve
Thank
swear he got the best intro music. You're killing his,
Thank
So
you,
you
man.
need to know that. I was over here vibing like
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what? You know what the unfortunate thing about that though, Tidy, is even though you just paid me that compliment, you just assured that Uncle Steve is gonna do a diss track about me. First, I promise you, there's gonna be a diss track this Sunday coming towards you. I'm not like T. Will. It's gonna have a diss track ready. I'm just saying. But no, thank you for that, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
That music was actually done by my best friend from high school, Lamar Johnson, who actually does recordings for content creators. So I think his YouTube name is Ramal Sun. It's Lamar spelled backward, but Ramal's son. So yeah, I mean, if you get a chance, he does it for people. But yeah, he did it. He does all my music, and thank you for saying that. Definitely appreciate it. Guys, you can, if you want to email me and curse me out about anything that me and Tidy talked about, You can email Tidy. If you have good things to say, though, you can email me. Just kidding. At formyatlcontact@gmail.com. If you're into ATL Sports, hey, man, For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're into movies or TV series, For My ATL Movies 1 on YouTube as well. You can check your boy out at Facebook. That's Gideon T. Will. Also, Facebook T. Will Podcaster. On X at For My ATL Sports, and Instagram For My ATL Sports 1 and Movies. Guys, this was fun. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys have a safe and wonderful weekend. And I can't root for Miami. Jesus, I don't know. Whatever. Whoever wins the other game, I can't root for the U. Whatever. I'm sure I just pissed Michael Irvin off, like he's watching the show, right? But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate that. Thank God for waking me up this morning and sending y'all all my way. And again, Tidy, thank you. Really appreciate it. To Eric Parker, my brother, and Jack Spade, my friend, thank you for giving my shot in this business. You guys have an amazing day. We'll see you when we see you. Thanks, everybody.
Peace. All right, T. Will.
All right, brother. We'll see.
ATL. Through the highs and the heartbreaks, we still stand. Dirty birds forever. Let's get it. Year after year, we've been riding through the storm. Red and black in my veins, that loyalty is swung. We don't fold, we don't run, even when the pain hits. Cause every loss just reminds us what greatness is. We show up cold nights or the Georgia sun. Cause every Sunday we believe that our time gon' come. We ain't perfect, but we faithful and we never switch. We the city of the A, yeah, we built for this. We don't need pretty words, just hard on the field we deserve. Put the work in, earn that glory. Bring our city back to the story. We'll ride till the wheels fall off. We ain't never gonna break. Win or lose, we stand tall. 48, you can doubt us, talk loud, but we still hold steady. Cause we here and we faithful and we always ready. It's the dirty, prove the dirty. If you bout it, then prove the dirty. We'll believe when you fight for the city.